With stay-at-home orders either being lifted completely with restrictions or strict social distancing guidelines, it gives us a chance to look at how we might approach things when we fully come out of our stay-at-home order. Last week, we looked at how other countries were approaching restaurant reopenings, coffee shops, other places to go get a bite to eat. But today, we're looking at what it might be like for children returning to school. Andy, do you want to start us off in France?
This week in France, thousands of preschools and elementary schools have started to open up. Classes will be capped at 10 students for preschools and 15 for elementary school children. And these images show how social distancing measures taken in the classroom and on the playground have been used to keep children far apart from one another.
School's already hard as it is. I mean, this seems like, honestly, this seems like bullying. This will eradicate bullying entirely.
Look at the psychological impact that an adult has context and can understand why that you would have to do something like this, but they don't even have toys. They're just in these square boxes.
Have you ever seen Michael Myers? It's a Halloween. It's like a Michael Myers movie. It's the most recent one. He's like in a mental facility. No. And that's how they have him, in like a square by himself with a bunch of other people in the same facility. The same way you saw those poor little kids. Yeah.
After seeing the images, many parents wondered if it is actually in their child's best interest to return to school under these conditions. Before schools reopened, the Ministry of Health released sanitation and hygiene guidelines, which include things like social distancing, recess, as we saw in the photos, and recommendations to disinfect all toys and classroom supplies after every use. It just blows my mind. It is wild.
The optimistic side of me,
bizarre thing to live through,
wants to say that this is very temporary, and they will soon be able to return to normal. Well, who knows?
I hope.
Who really knows? Yeah.
But with in-classroom attendance currently not mandatory, it's left up to the parents to decide if they're going to send their kids into class. In an interview with the AP, one French parent said, "Truth is, we don't know if it's a mistake. We change our mind every day. We're trying to convince ourselves that if they are reopening, we assume the schools can handle it." In a survey conducted by several public and private schools in the Paris area, the majority of parents preferred to keep their kids at home until September while they waited to see if the evolution of public health.
Yeah.
Junior high schools? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I don't think that is that junior high. That's not junior high. I was just going to mention in France as well. In France as well, junior high schools with regions of fewer virus cases will reopen May 18th. So they have a set date in about 4 days. High schools have yet to set a date. Sorry, what's going on in China?
Schools in parts of China have had a couple more weeks of implementing the new process for returning to school. This is how it looks. These videos show how children are being sanitized and having their temperature checked before entering school. And these pictures show what classrooms look like. Kids wear masks or in protective plastic boxes, or wear special hats to keep their distance from one another.
This looks a little more fun than it did in France. Like, these kids seem just like they're vibing with it, honestly.
I don't know, like, what is that, though?
And the way they make the tools look, they look kid-friendly. A little robot with the hand sanitizer, checking his temperature.
Terrifying. The psychological impacts on this are, I'm sure we will know 30 years from now. All the COVID babies.
Temperature, right.
The temperature check. Going. There you go and stand here. You get sprayed off. I mean, the other kid was like sticking his face in what I assume is some kind of disinfectant material. That probably, or disinfectant spray. It's probably not good to breathe in. And then they have a robot, I assume, that the kid was looking at. I don't know. Julie asks, wonder if kids will fear getting too close to each other. Will hugging and touching each other become a problem when they grow up? Will intimacy be an issue? Will they become extreme germaphobes? I think those are very, very good questions to ask.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't
Little
know.
Robert
like
wouldn't be so tactile if he grew up in this day and age. Okay, the issue I have with this, and I've seen this, and we've this is fine, but the little hats with the things, that's not 6 feet. That's just like making a kid wear a funny little hat. You could easily poke somebody, you know, like poke your neighbor with the hat on.
Yeah. No, this is all, I mean, we just are.
That's weird. Yeah.
I mean, but you know what I think this is also? Is that without clear understanding for what is happening and what actually helps, our huge schism of truth and fact and fiction
but to your
in this world has led us to do all kinds of things that like we don't know if this is good or bad, and we're all just doing it because we're just trying to do our best.
But to your point, Sam, like in Germany, they had people at a restaurant with noodles with the same kind of concept, those silly little hats to keep your 6 feet distance. But they said at the end of the day, like maybe it doesn't help too much, but at least it's silly, it's fun, and it makes you smile when you look at this. I mean, not smile, but like giggle, chuckle, just some kind of, I don't know.
Anybody
the teacher was like, finally an art project.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but it's all like, what? So, okay, the boxes that you're in, right? There's still holes in the side of it. It's still exposed in the top. Air moves.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody give Andy a bag. He's hyperventilating. He's getting super into it. You need to take a breather.
A box around. You know, put me in a box.
You need a paper bag.
I don't
Darth
know.
Vader,
I just,
thing.
it just.
Okay, so that's China.
This will not do. Doubt that this will be happening in America, but.
Well, tonight at 11, a week-long series of reports looking into the future of Connecticut. What will the future of education look like 3 months from now? What about in 3 years? Only one thing is certain, school will not be the same. Channel 3's Kara Sunland reports on the changes that could be coming.
As buses sit idle in parking lots and schools are shuttered from the coronavirus pandemic, what will school look like when the bell rings again? Fran Rabinowitz is the executive director of the Connecticut Association of Public School Superintendents.
I do not believe that school in the fall will look like school in the fall of 2019. It will be very different.
Starting with start times.
Staggered schedules, grade level coming in at one time, one grade level at one time, one at another, or half of a class one day, half of a class of another. And we are also looking at the continuation of distance learning.
There will be strong state guidelines, but Tom Moore, the superintendent of West Hartford Schools, says towns will have to come to some agreement. Normal first day rituals won't happen.
I think that there will be periodic hand washing that is regular. I think you'll see lunches changed dramatically. I think you'll see passing time between periods changed. I mean, those days where we all lined up and, you know, parents are there to say goodbye to their children, and that's gone.
Even getting on the bus will have to change.
We're used to putting 50 children on a bus. That will no longer be permitted. You know, it will be 10 children to a bus.
And how do you pay for it? Each extra bus ride costs more. Back to school shopping will include masks.
We are looking at what's being done in all of the European countries.
In Denmark, children are learning behind face shields. In Germany, only 5 children sit apart in an elementary class. And in Switzerland, tape shows kids how to social distance. Moore is looking how to rearrange kids in his 16 school buildings in West Hartford, and that might mean some continue to stay home. Here's one idea that's being floated.
Maybe we keep 6 through 12 on distance learning and bring in the younger children and use the high schools and middle schools for them as well.
And the idea of year-round school or Saturday classes is being considered. Jennifer Stanish teaches 5th grade. When she was named West Hartford's Teacher of the Year, she sang about building bridges at her award ceremony. She wonders how she'll bridge a digital divide without hugs or lunch bunches.
Really, the first few weeks of school is building a sense of community and belonging, and that will be a challenge come this fall.
So what will school look like 3 years from now?
I think 3 years from now, we do see more opportunities, especially at the high school level.
Beyond the woods, brighter than day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
Innovations and educators have what about
Channel 3 Eyewitness.
so they know that someone cares and their life
And if you are taught how to observe, you cease to observe.